Hi everyone, and welcome to today's tutor tip. Today we are talking about Bloom's taxonomy and how to incorporate Bloom's taxonomy into our SWBAT statements for our lesson plans. So you can see Bloom's taxonomy on the screen in front of you, and it is a way to categorize different types of learning that we ask learners to do. So at the very bottom we have remember, which is the easiest and simplest but also most foundational type of learning task. And it builds in complexity as you go up the pyramid all the way to create. So the reason this is important is because we want to make sure that we are pushing students to think critically, to problem solve, and to engage in deeper forms of learning than just rote memorization. So going back to the lesson plan that we've been building on, you can see my objectives down here. Students will be able to identify, predict, and summarize. And actually, identify and summarize both fall into this lowest level of Bloom's taxonomy, and predict goes to a little bit higher up to apply. And so you can see, even though this is a great lesson, I'm only really getting at the bottom three levels of Bloom's taxonomy. I'm not really pushing any further up into more complex forms of learning. So that's why I made these notes for myself for next time to compare and assess, which are into the analyze and evaluate sections of Bloom's taxonomy. So how do we know which words, you can see I put these in bold, how do we know which words to use for each level of Bloom's taxonomy in our SWBAT statements? Well, there's some great lists out there, and I will link this particular list I'm looking at in the caption of this video. But here is this list, and you can see that we've got all the different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. And then we have these great verbs that we can use in our SWBAT statements. So I hope that looking at these verbs and thinking about what kind of learning task we're asking students to engage in will help you to push students to higher levels of thinking and to think more critically and not just understand and remember, but also evaluate, analyze, and create. So I hope that this helps you write better SWBATs and to be a more effective tutor. Thanks so much for tuning in today.